Hey everybody, Austin back again. I finally moved into my brand new apartment. I finally got settled in, I finally got internet access, and my brother and I, we finally organized everything. And overall, we're pretty happy with the place. So I thought it would be kind of fun to actually take you through a quick tour of the apartment. Not too involved in terms of the apartment itself, but as well as a quick room tour of my actual room, where you're going to see all my games and where I'm going to be doing all my constant recording and my Let's Plays and things like that. So without further ado, let's take a quick walk through my apartment. Now, it's actually a pretty small place. It's just a one-bedroom with a den. However, my brother and I, we've actually got it set up to where we've got a nice little quaint living room. Currently, I'm using my old television, my old CRT, and I have my Nuon, which I'm using as the DVD player. And I have a Sega Genesis Model 2 with my EverDrive inside of it. You see Contra Hard Corps running right now. I actually played that a little bit earlier today. I also have my Nintendo Wii on the side of it. Now, this is a very small little setup, nothing too terribly special, but man, does it feel good to be playing Sega Genesis while sitting on a couch. I haven't known that feeling in a very long time, so being cooped up in my parents' house for quite some time, you know, it's nice to have some space now, as you can see there. So now we're going to be actually moseying on over to my room, which I have the master bedroom. Not a huge master bedroom, but it's a decent size. It's a decent size to hold all of my things. And here we go. This is it. Now, here's the main entertainment center, along with a CD rack, which houses some of my old PC games and my video game soundtracks. This is the same rack I had back in my parents' house, and it's still holding up. I kind of had to super glue a part of it together because it was falling apart yesterday. But I've got a couple systems hooked up. I got the Turbo Duo, the Sega Saturn, the Dreamcast, Super Nintendo, and the Sega CD-X. And there's my power pack. Feels good to have this. I don't have any NES games anymore aside from Super Mario Brothers, but it's nice that I can still play just about anything I had at one point in time. And here's my big gaming shelf, which some of you will be familiar with. You've seen this shelf a lot through prior videos I've done. You can see it in my Let's Play videos, and you can see it in my pickups. That's my Dreamcast collection. It's the only system I did not sell anything for. I had to sell off a lot of stuff to pay bills thanks to my back and having to go to the doctors and chiropractors all the time, as well as paying rent to move in here, so I had to part with a lot of my game collection. But the Dreamcast stuff didn't go anywhere. I'm trying to still amass a full Dreamcast collection. And here's my Sega CD and Saturn games and a couple PlayStation games. Prior to moving out, I actually was trying to build my Sega CD collection a little bit, so I've got some decent games in there like Earthworm Jim and Robo Alesta and Dungeon Explorer, etc. Saturn and PlayStation games up there. There's my CD-X carrying case. I actually just picked that up recently, as well as my Dreamcast fishing rods. I actually bought both of those last week. Some strategy guys in my music magazines, Computer Music Magazine. Very good. Very good stuff if you're interested in music production. There's my Atari binder, which is really cool. It actually holds a bunch of cartridges. I found that with my Sears Video Arcade 2 about a year ago. Those things are actually kind of tough to come by, and they're worth 10 or 20 bucks on their own as far as I'm aware, so that's kind of cool to have one. And here's my computer. I'm actually sitting here right now while I'm recording this with my Order of Ecclesia wall scroll hanging above it. I think it looks pretty good. Love Order of Ecclesia. It's a fantastic Castlevania game. Here is my turntable setup. Some of you longtime subscribers will be familiar with this. I used to spin a little bit. I was never really a super hardcore DJ. I've only played out a handful of times, but I had a radio show online for a little while, and I would do that. And now that I've got my new setup, I'm going to be mixing more often, since I can actually keep them out without taking up too much space. Alright, here's my second gaming shelf. And here's Point Blank for the PlayStation. I actually picked this up last week, mainly because of the Happy Video Game Nerd review he did just a couple weeks back. And they're still pretty cheap right now. They're about 30 bucks, so get them while you can, while they're at that price. It's a pretty fun game too. I played it for quite a bit. Here's some CDI stuff, nothing special. I got rid of a couple CDI games, but I'm trying to hold on to most of them if I can. There's Flashback, which you don't see Flashback pop up all that often, so I'm glad I have that on the CDI. There are my PC Engine games, and here is Ghouls and Ghosts for the Super Graphics. Also picked up Battle Ace, I think it's Battle Ace, and haven't yet tried that out. I have to hook up the Super Graphics. And here's some other miscellaneous stuff I just couldn't really find room for. A couple PC games like Painkiller. Here is a Wonder Swan system. I still need to get a couple of games for that. I've had the system on and off multiple times over the last few years, but this specific system I have again, I haven't gotten any games for it. There's my Under Defeat for Dreamcast. Pretty expensive game, and apparently the HD version just came out recently, so I'll have to check into that. There's Gunlord and Fast Striker. I got both of those just a couple months ago as well. Some of you guys that follow my pickups videos will be familiar with those, because I showed them off. Now again, I've downsized quite a bit, guys. I used to have 800 to 900 games. Now I'm down to, I think, about 300 total. So my collection is not nearly as impressive as it was even just 6 months ago. So that's kind of a shame, but it's kind of nice knowing I can actually fit all my games in here now. That's Mushihime-sama Futari 1.5, as well as Espgaludo 2. They are Japanese cave shmups, and they're region-free. There is Doom 3 BFG Edition, which actually just came out yesterday. And here's some of my more awesome things, I think. Sega Rally for the N-Gage, which is very, very rare. My EverDrive cartridges, as well as the Harmony cartridge for the Atari 2600. And then we got the East 3 remake for PSP, as well as the Lords of Thunder on the Turbo Duo, which I just got from a friend a few weeks back, actually. There's my Atari 2600 system. I actually just got this in the mail, well, this past Saturday, which was really cool. There's my Harmony, trying to put it in. And it was a pretty good deal. It was something like $38 after shipping, and it works really well. So I had a 2600 and I stupidly sold it. Glad I have another one. Here are my big box PC games. I probably will not be acquiring any more of these because, well, I don't have anywhere else to put them. It's nice I have an actual shelf to put them on now. So here, moving on into my closets. This is where I keep all my system boxes and so forth. My closet, again, is not as big as I hoped, but it still works out pretty well. After playing a little bit of pseudo Tetris, I've been able to pretty much fit everything in here nicely. My 7800, my Duo, my Xbox, Sega CD, Neo Geo CD, Super Graphics, my multiple Genesis systems, my CDI, my Dreamcast, and the Wii is in the far back corner. And some extra stuff. There's my Battle Station 2 controller in the far left. I'm probably going to bring that out sometime. The Super Nintendo Video Arcade 2, my Sega Saturn, my FZ10 3DO, Xbox 360, and the heavily unused GameWave system, which will probably never be used again. And there's my little Apple iMac. I hope to bring that out sometime in the future. Have to find a place to put it where I can actually sit down and enjoy it how it's meant to be enjoyed. Here are my bins. I store a lot of things in these bins, from clothing to cords to video game controllers, and they're really good for video game controllers. It's a little bit of a mess, but you know, I wrap boards around the controllers and they're fine. There's my Pelican Real Arcade Stick, good for PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. It's a pretty sweet joystick. I kind of bring out my original modded Xbox with all of my MAME emulators loaded up onto it, and I'm going to play some games on it. So with that, guys, that's basically it. That is a quick room/apartment tour of my new place. And again, this is where I'm going to be recording most of my stuff. And since I'm in a new place, I'm not cramped in my parents' house anymore. I'll be able to record whenever the hell I damn please. So it could be 3 a.m. and I can record a quick video. So I'm looking forward to making more videos on a more consistent basis and just, well, being motivated and happier overall. So anyway, guys, I'll be back with some normal videos sometime soon. Until then, take care.